go straight away to the team of the season. We've all prepared our teams, and we're going to try and agree together to create the podcast's team of the season. Look, this energy is ridiculous. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if this lager's just brilliant.
Yeah, bouncing on the seat over.
Come on then, here we go. Let's start off with the goalkeeper, and I'm a little bit worried about this because I feel already a bit of tension. I'm praying that no one's done what I think they may have done. Fingers crossed. Matt, we'll go with you straight away. Who have you gone for your keeper of the season?
I've gone with David Raya at Brentford.
Oh,
It's a firm shout.
that's a firm shot, especially with the fact that he wants out, doesn't he? As
Yeah,
well,
It's Spurs, they reckon.
Be a great move for Spurs to get David Raya in.
Yeah, completely agree. But yeah, he's been integral for Brentford. I think there's a level of confidence that comes with having a keeper that you know you can trust with a ball at his feet. You know he's going to make the saves. He's going to do the basics right, and that allows you to just sort of play with a little bit more freedom, stick to the game plan without having an element of doubt in the back of your head. So I think with him providing that, it's just one of the other reasons as to why Brentford have had a very successful season.
Yeah, they've been absolutely amazing this season.
And he saved them some massive points there as well.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of research. I don't usually give keepers any kind of interest, and I was preparing for a debate today because I feel like there's a little bit of a tension. So I did a bit of research, and David Raya is very high up on the preventing XG stats. He's in the top half, unlike David Haya. Sorry, that got.
But David Hayes, who's top half of clean sheets,
he's in the, well, no, but we can get onto that in a minute. But
Here we
Si,
go.
who have you got?
I've not gone for De Gea.
Phew. Do you know
I
what?
was so tempted to wind Sam up to put De Gea in.
So I've wasted my entire lunchtime today finding stats on why David De Gea is a complete fraud, and I don't even get to use them. That shows how you are literally in my head rent free. That you even.
I planted a seed last night just to put for viewers to put doubt in Sam's head that I was thinking. De Gea's Golden Glove, 16 clean sheets or whatever it is. He must be number one, surely.
And how mad it was. Usually I'm very early to bite in the group chat. I literally said I'm going to save it for tomorrow. That's how angry I was. I literally I couldn't sleep last night. I was actually thinking about David De Gea. I was going on to. I've never even looked at preventing XG stats, save percentages, everything. That's mad. That's mad. And I just realised that my maths is horrendous. David De Gea is not in the bottom half. That's just really bad maths from me. It's lucky I didn't read out that stat. I just realised he can. He's 18th.
Pennies dropped.
He's 18th out of 39, which would.
Oh dear! Great maths.
I just realised then, as I said it, I was thinking, actually, 38 divided by 39 divided by No, yeah. So I'm glad you haven't said that. So carry on anyway. Talk about
I
your
have
goalkeeper.
gone for the mighty Nick Pope. I think signing of a season for a start. I think it's been he's been integral to Newcastle, but the upgrade for Newcastle to go from what they had before to Pope now, I think Pope is the most commanding keeper in the Premier League because the amount of crosses he catches, or the last minute crosses he catches, well, take all the pressure off his team. He's won them so many points this season, so many. And I know England fans doesn't play the England way. He's England's best goalkeeper, actual goalkeeper. He's the best goalkeeper. Ignore the kicking out for 30 yards and chip it, whatever. He's the best keeping the ball out of the net by a country mile for England's goalkeepers.
Do you not think in this modern game, and I don't disagree, I think he's a great keeper, I think it's a great shout, but every time you do see the ball at his feet, it then ends up in the stands. In this modern game...
But that's better than passing it 5 yards and hitting a striker to tap it in. Am I wrong?
No, I completely agree. To a point. Because how long are keepers like him going to be around in the modern game? 10 years ago, how many keepers? What was the split between when you were looking at a requirement for a goalkeeper? What was the split for managers to look at him and go, what can he do with his feet? What can he? Do you know what I mean? It was much higher. Yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah. A goalkeeper is a goalkeeper.
He's there to keep the ball up the net.
But it's been proven to get a team.
I don't understand all Alan Brazil about it, but his main job is to stop the ball going in that net. And if he goes 30 yards an hour of play, that's better than doing a tic tac and once every 5 times is hitting the forward and potentially a goal from opportunity. Like De Gea can't do it. We know De Gea can't do it. He's trying to do it, and fair play, he's trying to do it still. But Nick Pope goes, I know I can't do that, so I'm not going to put myself at risk. I think that's fine. That's good logic. It's intelligence for the goalkeeper.
When you were saying about the change, I always think the change of with goalkeepers. I always think of the moment where goalkeeping changed in the modern game was when Pep came in and removed Joe Hart.
Yeah.
Well, even before that, originally it was Shay Given was the man at Man City, and was it Mancini came in, got rid of Shay Given and started playing Joe Hart.
Yeah.
Joe Hart then started playing because he was still young at that point.
Yeah.
And then it then progressed again. Pep comes in and goes, well, he can't play football. Gets rid of him. And then they tried Claudio Bravo and they went to Edison. But you think about it now.
I think the biggest change in goalkeepers was when Neuer was a sweeper keeper.
Oh,
He was the OG of changing things in this century almost.
Oh, yeah, definitely in
But
this century.
that's why the change in England come with Pep, because he had Neuer at Bayern Munich.
So what we're saying is
And
that
you've seen the
Pep's
success.
ruined goalkeeping.
No,
He just changed goalkeeper, hasn't he?
Yeah,
That's it.
I know, I get that.
that's
That was
the only reason I
tongue-in-cheek.
make the point of I completely agree with the show. I think he probably does start for it. Southgate won't start him for England.
No.
He'll go with Pickford, and I've got no issue with that either.
I mean, it all comes down to how the manager wants the keeper to play as well and the back four to play. Eddie Howe knows his strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see them messing around back four do too often. They'll
Yeah,
go
exactly.
fullbacks or to the wingers, and they'll go from there.
Yeah.
And that it works for them.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
worked them for really well. That's why they got Champions League place.
Yep.
Yeah. That's another shout I can get behind, by the way. I think that's a good shout. I think with the goalkeeper, I think as long as David De Gea wasn't in the shout, I didn't care who it was. I went for Alisson. I think he's had another great season. Topped the charts this season again for preventing XG. Conceded 10 less goals than expected, which is by far the clearest at the top. And I love him as a goalkeeper. I think he's brilliant. He's still in my head rent-free when he scored against our boys, that header. I still remember it to this day. Everyone laughing at me in the pub, being one of the only West Brom fans in the pub.
dear.
Michael will remember that because he laughed as well. Really hurt.
You were in a pub in Lowe, wasn't it, or something?
Oh no, we were in the where were we? We were in the beer garden at the Brit.
At the Brits.
No Albion fans outside.
Oh,
Lots of people laughing at me.
They've made that an anniversary now. Every time that rolls around,
I know.
every year on TalkSport.
And I keep getting tagged in it.
But no, Alisson, like, I've never seen a goalkeeper so dominant at one-on-ones. Honestly, there's very few times if you see one-on-ones happen and you think the keeper's going to win this.
Yeah.
Like, confidently. Alisson's just so... He's got down to a T. I don't know how he's perfected it so much, but he's fantastic at it.
I agree. So what do we want then? Who do we want to go to? I will happily give up my Alisson for either of those two. If I'm honest, I'd probably be more torn towards Pope, because Pope was my second choice, but I'm happy with Raya as well. Again, 3 good shouts. I don't think this is one we need to debate for too long.
No,
So
I'm
we-
easy on.
Pope.
Yeah, okay then.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, actually, rock, paper, scissors, because that'd be brilliant just to see.
Rock,
for
rock
audio
paper,
listeners.
scissors.
Rock, what? 1, 2, 3, shout.
Yeah? Rock, paper, scissors, go. Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Ah, there you go,
Hey.
Pope. Congratulations.
Well, look, audio listeners are thinking they're on the edge of their seats. What's the beginning? So Pope locked in.
Pope
In
Great
goal.
content that was.
Okay, so now on to the right back. We'll fly through this. I think this is an easy one. I feel like there's only
So
one.
I've just realised the rock, paper, scissors. We're not saying what we've shot either, so...
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
You could have done absolutely anything. I don't think people really.
Side one, Nick Pope.
But I think moving on to the right back then for team of the season, I think it's obvious, and I think it is. Surely we've all put Trippier.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
And I think the mad thing about this, I spoke about off camera with Matt earlier, with right backs, we've looked at in previous years, we've got the likes of Reece James, we've got the likes of Trent, and we've had Cancelo at points, we've had Carl Walker at points. I think this year for right backs has not been a good year, especially considering England have got all these great right backs. I know there are injuries and things like that, but it's been pretty poor for fullbacks just in general. And I think Trippier, obviously, he has been great, but he's not really had any competition.
I mean, but the issue that Trent's had a pants 3/4 of a season.
Yeah.
Walker couldn't play with his new system at Man City. Reece James constantly injured.
Yeah.
I sort of your main right back rivals on there generally.
Yeah, and
Trippier-
Cancelo has gone to
Well,
to
yeah.
Bayern, and they don't want him.
Yeah, and he's a left back by the end, wasn't he? But yeah, I think absolutely Trippier's been the man, hasn't he, all year. He's been Mr. Reliable for Newcastle. You just know he's always going to be fantastic and performs every game.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just lock him in. I think we should just move on straight away. There's not much
Easy,
else to
innit?
say, is it? It's an easy one. Okay, then centre backs. if you want to name one of your centre backs, Si, if you go first, if you name.
Saliba.
That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever been a part of on this podcast.
How long have you been planning that before
No,
you
I just
came?
thought about, literally just thought about
Okay, that's a good. So why didn't Saliba? Please don't do it again.
Their whole title campaign crumbled when he got injured, and that proved to me how important he was to the side.
Do you know what? I'd completely agree with you on that. That is one thing that you could see the downfall as soon as he went, because I think a lot of that is because of Saliba's excellence, but also because the backup was
Horrendous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's really not good enough.
No.
Nowhere near.
And Gabriel
the
looked lost without him as well, I think, because those two as a pair worked really well. But Saliba, I've been really impressed with Saliba all year when I've seen him play. I didn't know how he'd perform after a few years out in France, wasn't it?
Yeah, because especially with the Arsenal fans, had bigged him up that he was the greatest centre back in the world before he'd even played in the Premier League. So I was a bit like, whoa. But to be fair, he has been very
And they
good.
spent, what, 30 million on him 3 years ago, was it? As I've been out on loan for 3 years. And I was like, well, can he be that good if he's been out for 3 years on loan? Like, where's his £30 million potential? And, you know, he's absolutely showed it, to be fair to him. It's been fantastic.
Okay, then has anyone else got Saliba?
Oh
no.
No, I'm joking. No, I haven't.
I haven't got Saliba either. Who have you got as we one centre back?
Ruben Dias.
And have you got Ruben Diaz?
I chose not to have Ruben Dias.
I haven't got Ruben Diaz either. Oh my
Interesting.
word, this is going to be interesting.
Interesting.
So is this your main? Is this the one you want to fight for?
This for me was the absolute like no-brainer. He there is no mistaking him anymore. He reminds me of Vincent Kompany. That he's commanding, he's physically like he's quick, he's great in the tackle, he's great in the air, and he just leads naturally. And just seems to have. I can't recall this season him putting. I know everyone's made mistakes, I get it, but I can't recall him putting a foot wrong. Really,
I think Gundogan goes. I think he's potential captain material for Man City.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I think De Bruyne's there as well, clearly, but he's future captain material.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. Do you know what?
he's got and that the performance against United the other day, I thought was the culmination of what has been a great season for him.
Yeah.
As an individual, and hopefully, you know, he can carry it on into the Champions League final.
Yeah.
But he just looked as if absolutely nobody could faze him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No. Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna agree with you on Diaz.
Thank
I was thinking about Stones ahead of him, but then
General!
as an actual as an actual centre back. And just nonsense, like the actual centre back as a position, I think Diaz is probably a better option. And I'm thinking about the appearances of Stones throughout the season. Probably hasn't played enough minutes, really. Actually,
Maybe he's been one of the main man for
he's
City.
played. I looked at 23 games in the Premier League.
Oh, is that it? Really?
Because he's been injured. Yeah, played. I think it was around just under 1,900 minutes. I did a bit of research earlier. For once.
Okay.
Did a bit of research.
It's nice to make an effort for once.
Yeah, I probably should. It was about time, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, no.
We're
do you know what?
6-9 episodes in.
I'm going to agree with you on Diaz. So can we definitely lock one in then? Because that's the first centre back we've gone for two, or should we wait and see?
Name the two, I'd say. Then we'll discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, is that
Okay,
fair
then.
enough?
So my other centre back, and I just want to get this in there. I feel like everyone knows who I'm going to say. One of the greatest men on the planet. If you're listening, Lewis Dunk, baby. I'll happily argue this, and I'm not even. This isn't even a wind up. That's the thing, because people thought I was taking the mick. I genuinely think he has been one of the best, if not the best, centre back in the league this season. Him and Webster and Colwell, who I hope goes to Brighton because he's going to rot at Chelsea because they don't like youth players. It's a great breeding ground because they obviously buy players in from other clubs. It's a complete fraudulent when everyone says that they all come from Chelsea because they buy them all when they're 16 years old. Just getting that in there. But no, I think Dunk has been absolutely amazing this season. So I just want to put Dunk in there as my shout. I feel like it's going to get rubbished, but I want to just put it in there.
I had Dunk originally, and swapped him quite late in the day for Botman. Only on the grounds of, for me, Botman is my signing of the season.
Oh,
And I think, whilst everything I said about keepers at the beginning starts and sort of giving you that confidence, to have a centre half like that come in, command the line,
Yeah.
be the centre half that you need to sort of build a strong foundation off. He has been integral to their Champions League
push. Yeah, you can tell
Yeah.
he's definitely like a different class to the rest of the defence. I know obviously Trippier in his own right, but I think Botman looks the best player in the back four.
And
Yeah.
you can always tell how good a player is when he makes other players around him look far better than they are.
He's making Fabian
So-
Schär look like a very good defender,
Yeah,
whereas
like-
Fabian Schär has stunk the gaff out for how many years?
Yeah.
And they're obviously, and Botman's replaced at best average defenders, Premier League defenders.
Lascelles,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
all them
at
lot,
best.
and them boys.
Yeah, so the upgrade's massive. And the Botman's have been a great signing. I mean, I don't think it's
Dumb it.
yeah. I think I wouldn't say so because he costs 38 mil, and maybe you could argue he's done what you expect a 38 million pound centre half should do. But
Yeah,
I think he's just.
I think it's colossal.
yeah. I'll rate that as a shout then. So who?
If Dunk was to be sort of levied by both of you, I'm more than happy to concede, because I'd be happy with either.
Yeah, and I'm happy with Botman. Was originally on my list. I did actually scribble him out
Oh, really?
for
I feel like
Diaz.
you've gone completely different.
No, my second option was General John
General
Stones.
John
Because I've just been so impressed with how he's created a new position almost.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And what he's doing, it takes so much football intelligence to do as well, and understanding of, and just listening and learning and wanting to improve all the time. And in many ways, because I put Ruben Diaz down initially, and I changed it to Stones because I thought Diaz has done what I expected of him almost, which is it's not a criticism. It just shows how good he is. I think.
Yeah.
I've just been overly more impressed with Stones because he's created a new position almost.
And to be fair, in recent years, John Stones has been quite mistake prone. Like there
Yeah,
has
no,
been moments
correct. Yeah,
where
absolutely.
you've expected him, and there's been those moments where you think he's always got an error in him at
Yeah.
least once a game, and it's a proper clanger. Whereas now
He's matured now.
He's matured, and he's arguably one of the best holding midfielders on the planet right now. With the way he was playing that United game,
Prime Busk.
like it was ridiculous. He took the ball on a half turn in his own box, completely destroyed the press, and they went up the other end and nearly scored. And you just think, that's John Stones.
Yeah.
I think City are lucky that Barcelona got so much financial issues because they would try and sign John Stones to take the Busquets position.
He looked,
it would suit
he
him, wouldn't
looked
it?
like ready-made, didn't
Yeah.
he? It was very bizarre.
Because he played in the holding midfield position, didn't he? At Everton at times.
Did you?
Briefly.
Because at Barnes he played mainly as a right back.
Yeah.
Shifted him over to centre back at Everton and then put him into the holding midfield a couple of times, and you could tell he could do it.
Oh,
but
yeah,
obviously,
he could do
no
it,
one
yeah.
expected him to go to this level.
I hope this isn't a fluke. I hope he carries it on next season, because I think players like, talk about Busquets, and he seemed very similar the other day, just the way he played. If he can keep it at that level, that's just great to watch.
Amazing
Oh,
for
yeah.
England as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be superb for England.
If Southgate
Allows
is
him.
progressive,
Which actually is completely ridiculous because he's the furthest thing from progressive. He's a regressive. So
4-4-2.
so is there anyone that anyone wants to really push then forward? So we've got two people for Diaz then. So Diaz is.
I'm happy to go. Diaz was my third choice, so I'm more than happy to Diaz to
I
go in.
would rather firmly plump for Diaz. I'm willing to
I'm willing to
compromise on Botman.
see Botman and Dunk. I will be happy with either. So sorry, you've not put either of them. So do you want to pick out Lewis Dunk or Botman?
I'm going to Dunk. Yeah, I'm going to Dunk because
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, over throughout the season, I've become more and more a fan of a Dunk. I mean, same with Botman to be fair, but so I think Botman is sort of, you could almost argue you expect a bit more from someone who costs so much, whereas
Yeah.
Dunk's has just matured, he just got better and better and better every year, and he is Mr. Brighton, and I think it's brilliant.
That's just Brighton at my day.
Brighton.
Oh, very
Thank
good.
you, thank you, thank you.
I was a
Lewis,
little bit behind there.
Sorry, that deserved more.
I told you, Lewis, you'd make my team. Now on to the left back position. I want to go straight in with mine. I'm going to go early
Can
'Cause
can I guess what you're going to do?
because I want to try and get it right because I've been practicing this in the mirror.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
The name I really struggle. I don't know what it is, guys. And if you're new to the podcast, I've really struggled with this name.
It's not the person I was going to guess anyway.
Estupinan. That's that.
Estepinian.
Oh my.
Well, it's better than
What
what you
is
said.
it, man?
It's better than saying it's the poopy now.
Because the thing is, I built it up in the car when I was driving back from work. So I kept saying it to myself.
Have you been looking in the mirror trying to say it?
I genuinely, like, I'm not even exaggerating. I literally looked in the bathroom mirror You could probably ask
Good
someone.
God.
Probably there's going to be a chance that my mum could have walked past and just seen me just saying that in the mirror and thought he's having a breakdown.
Can you please, but in the off season, can you make a compilation video of you trying to say his name? It'd be brilliant.
It would, but it also it's just really embarrassing. Like, it makes me cringe when I'm
That's
watching it.
why we should do it.
No, I know, but like the amount of times I cut it and I think, what are you doing? What an absolute melt.
So what's his name?
Estupinan.
That's stupid then.
Estupinan. I think he's been absolutely amazing. And I didn't realise, I was looking into his career, I didn't realise he was at Watford at some point.
Was
I didn't
he?
realise he was at Watford.
Well, everyone's been at Watford, haven't they?
But how mad's that? He was at
Yeah.
Watford and he's been absolutely amazing. No one expected anything from him. He's been absolutely great. And I just love him as a player. I think he's so good going forward. Cucurella was great at Brighton, but
Yeah.
he's just taken it a step further. And I think he epitomises everything that's been great about Brighton. That it's just an improvement on before. It's step up,
Yeah.
class. I just love him. That's all I need to say.
Who was left back for them before?
Cucurella.
Oh, of course, yes. Sorry.
That's why. So yeah, that's why I think he's been absolutely amazing because no one expected him to
So
fill those
Cucurella
boots.
was worth 60 mil last summer.
This
How much
guy-
is he now worth?
120. He's twice the player Cucurella ever was.
Well, he doesn't pull his unders down over his hands and
Yeah, he doesn't wear gloves. And
No.
pull, and pull
Yeah,
his
yeah, he's soft,
sleeve.
is he?
Yeah,
he's not,
exactly.
he's not a raging coward.
Yeah, and I really like him. I really like him. Okay, then who have you gone for then, Matt?
I was torn, if I'm honest, but I think I'm probably going to settle for Estepinian.
Love it.
For the reasons
Ooh.
you've just said. He's the first one that popped into my head, and then I sort of talked myself into the fact that Ake has turned into a tremendous left back all of a sudden this year.
That's what I've gone for. I've gone for
yeah,
Ake.
this was my.
All of us,
no.
like, just great friends, aren't we? All just as happy,
We're
isn't
the
it?
three best friends in the whole wide world.
Not after you sung that Saliba song, you know.
That and Saliba, like, you're in a good mood, aren't you, Tim?
I am, yeah.
But no, I completely get the Ake shout because
Yeah.
he's one player that I never thought was cut out for City. He was one player that whenever I used to watch him play, I used to think he's not.
You
cut
saw it.
out
He
for
cost City 40 mil a couple of years ago. You went, that's a lot of money for a relegated Bournemouth side at the time. And now Pep can't drop him, and he said, I can't drop Ake.
He come through as a fullback, and then it was at Bournemouth. They moved him into centre half, and he did quite well considering
And
his
centre mid
height.
was playing as well, occasionally.
And centre mid, he's technically good enough to do so. Fair enough, but I think maybe he's just gone back to his roots a little bit, and then under the tutelage of
Great word.
Great word, thank you. Yeah, he's looked really good this year, but I think on the whole, I'd probably go with Estepinian.
Those are two good shouts. Yeah, I'm happy with both of them.
Well, it's two shouts for
Yeah.
Espupinan.
Oh, do you know what? I'm writing all these down, but I'm not even going to try and spell it because that
Esti.
and I've learnt a new word. Something. What was it? Tutelage or something?
Tutelage.
Tutelage.
The,
What
the,
can-
the teachings.
Oh, okay, so you've just tutelaged me, or no?
I've tutored.
Oh, sorry.
Tutored you in your understanding of the word tutelage.
Oh, okay. I might try and use that in a sentence.
I hope you can screenshot how confused your face was then.
And if you haven't already, guys, please give us a 5-star review.
5 stars only.
Okay, then the midfield three, and what I really like about this, I think we've all got to go for our midfield three because it depends how you want to do this midfield three.
Yeah.
Some people might have gone for a holder midfielder, an attacking midfielder because we don't say cam because we're not little 15-year-olds on FIFA.
2 8s.
Yeah, 2 8 to 10, however you want to describe it.
Double pivot. Hello, Mike.
But yeah, it depends on how you want to do it. So, so if you want to go first with your midfield three, who have you gone for?
I've gone for, I think everyone's going to say Odegaard.
Yep.
Like Rodriguez wanted to hold him mid.
Yep.
And I've gone for Gundogan.
Nope.
That's a strong midfield. Who have you gone for? And then we can kind of think.
Odegaard, Rodri.
Okay, yeah.
And then, big curveball, and I'm excited to explain why. Paulinho.
Okay.
I'm not against it. Okay, carry on.
You look at his stats, we've got very into stats lately, haven't we? And I think Fulham...
Start attack.
Good God. You know, I think back to the likes of Kante at Leicester,
Yeah.
and then the first few years at Chelsea and what he provided them. And I think Fulham have had a great season, and to a degree have probably gone under the radar a little bit with the likes of Brighton, Newcastle having such successful seasons, as well as Brentford, and then probably Liverpool having a bit of a poorer season as well. Those things have sort of swamped the headlines. after the weekend fixtures. But Fulham have gone under the radar, and he has been the centre of it all. You know, Mitrovic chipped in with a couple of goals more than some people expected him to do based on his prior Premier League experience.
I would never say anything like that because I always said he was going to do well.
I said I was going to get north of 10 goals.
I'd said he wouldn't get more than, I think, 4.
I said 6.
But I think Paulinho is just he's dogged, and he's everywhere, all over the pitch, and can then dictate play as well. But his specialism is just that dirty work, break up play, simple passes, keep the team moving.
But he's got the quality, hasn't he, with it? Because there's a lot of players who can do that dog work in the Premier League, but there aren't many players who can do it and then kind of then go on from that. So I think he could easily make a top 6 side.
I look at Paulinho and I look at despair because Wolves had him. We had him. And then we just couldn't find the 17 mil to go at the start of the window last summer. So Fulham came in, swooped in, got him. We've ended up with his worst brother, Nunes, for 20 odd mil extra. Not a brother, but you know what I mean. Because our partners at Sporting, weren't they, last season when they won the league?
He's gone down as more flop of the season here.
Scored goal of the season though, so it's fine. His one goal of the season. Anyway, but yeah, I wish Wolves got Paulinho rather than Nunes.
What a shame. What a shame.
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You hear those little violins? Little violins playing. It's really emotional stuff.
But yeah, so that's my curveball
Yeah,
choice.
no, all right. We've all gone for Odegaard and Rodri, which I think is a great start. I can't believe I'm the only one who said it. I've gone for De Bruyne. I just want to whack him in there because I still think he's had a great season. I don't think he's been to his main standards, but I still think he's had a great season. I think it's the first time where, because when we look at, I think my reasoning why De Bruyne is like there's arguments about him having a poor season is purely because he's been the main man at City for a few years now, hasn't he? He has been the focal point of everything.
He's been the best player in the league for years.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I still think he's kept up pretty much the same standard as he was before. But because now the media and the eyes are now on Haaland, Haaland's taken the limelight. I think we're not appreciating the stuff that he still is doing and still has done all season.
He's still world class.
Oh, he's still a brilliant
Oh
player.
no, he is 100%, and he's head and shoulders above the vast majority of other midfielders in the league. Vast majority ahead of the vast majority of most midfielders in Europe.
Yeah.
But I think there's just not enough room, and I think if you can make a case for others at other teams, City have had a massively successful season. He's been integral to it alongside Haaland.
Yeah.
But there are other players who have had tremendous seasons who probably deserve the recognition for it.
One player I do want to give an honourable mention. Now we're talking about honourable mentions. A player that I think I don't like him as a footballer, so I slander him and I give him a little bit of hate, but I don't really appreciate the footballer that he is. I think Bruno Fernandes could still be given as a discussion. He's again put up the numbers again for another season running. He's amazing, isn't he? Really, as a player, he is Mr. Man United. He's one of those players that you can rely on. And I know you've got the antics, and he's quite a frustrating player, and a lot of the things he does with referees and the diving around and that kind of side of the football, I absolutely despise. Like, I really don't like that in a footballer. But then I think I sometimes turn an eye to it because he winds me up. Whereas he's still had a very good season. And he's a very good player. So I'd like to give him as an honourable mention.
He's dragged United. I know people say Rashford's dragged United. Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely one of them as much as a reason they've managed to get as high as they are this season. Yeah. I mean, he loves being the star man. When Ronnie left, that helped Bruno Fernandes by an absolute mile. And he was then like, well, I'm now the main guy people looking at. I need to step up. And he does. And he's not been playing in his favourable position all the time, has he, this season?
He's been playing out on the wing, hasn't he? Points,
and you know what? He's still done a brilliant job there. He's done a brilliant job.
He really has. The only one of your points I disagree with there, you can't call him Mr. Man United. Oh, I think back to that game where he was captain, and he's not tracking his man. He's not leading. Do you know what I mean?
I might have not used the right word. And when I say Mr. Man United, in that sense, I completely agree. I meant as in like he is the only player.
He's a talisman.
He's the only player. If you can rely on anyone, Rashford, he's reliable for about 2 months because has he shown up since?
Yeah, he's like a kettle.
Yeah.
Which blows up cold.
His goals come as buses, don't they? You come all the rush, and then there'll be a period with nothing.
Yeah, definitely. I get what you're saying.
Look at those face.
I've not heard that as a phrase. I liked it.
He was hot and cold.
The one player who, I just wanted to give him his honourable mention because I feel like I do give him a lot of slander on this podcast. And I just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out because I feel like he deserves it. And I might a bit harsh on you this season, maybe Fernandes, but you do need to get rid of the antics because that is embarrassing as a footballer, as a grown adult.
You know what, I think it's a Portuguese thing because I've seen a lot of Wolves. I think
Yeah, I was
so.
about to
I
say
think
you
it's
could
Portuguese
speak on
thing.
the Wolves side because you have got Portuguese
Yeah.
B team, which is pretty much C team now.
Portuguese.
I say that they're all leaving. Well, that's just Wolves players in general, but we'll save that for another episode because that could be an episode in itself, and I can't wait for that.
Just a Wolves pod.
So who do we want to put then as our third midfielder? I am happy with either of those two, Paulinho, and I am happy with Gundogan. I will happily allow because I think De Bruyne is like a safe option. He's been there.
He's the obvious, isn't he?
let's-
But is he obvious because it's the right option?
Yeah, but I'm going to step back. I'm going to let you two take this because you two make a decision between yourselves. I'm going to just sit back and let you two talk because I think De Bruyne is the obvious one. It's a safe option.
I think Gundogan, because I didn't really argue his point, I guess. I just think he, at the end of every season, he just comes alive, doesn't he? He just gets better and better and better throughout the season, and he just carries the team off. Like, you know,
He
maybe-
deserves a new contract, doesn't he?
oh, absolutely. But I think he might be going to Barcelona on a free himself, so you know that's an option for him as well.
I don't disagree
I
with
just
Gundogan.
think Gundogan's been brilliant. Carries the team out, not just carries the team, but he makes a lot of stuff happen. He
Yeah.
does a lot of the dirty work that you don't appreciate as well for City. He's that unsung hero for Man City, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with it. I felt like Paulinho deserved a bit of recognition because I feel like he's gone slightly under the radar, as have Fulham in general.
Yeah.
That's why I put him in there. But I'm not adverse to Gundogan.
So what do you want to go for then, boys?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Could you imagine? we saying Paulinho and Gundogan then? Because this is big because this will be going out as a post as well.
Go Gundogan.
Okay.
Go
then.
Gundogan,
We'll go
because
Gundy.
You look back at him over previous years, like you
Yeah.
touched on, towards the end of seasons. I mean, he won them the league on the final day
Yeah.
against the Villa.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe. And then, well, he won him the FA Cup this year.
Yeah, I have to admit, I listened back to because Ben said he was player. He made his argument for player of the season as Gundogan, and he made the point. And I've listened back to his points
Yeah.
after the FA Cup final. Made me realise
Yeah.
that because I'm obviously looking at it now as him being a big game player. But obviously, when you mentioned that as well, to do it on top of that, to say that we were calling him a big game player before that game, so like it's
Absolutely.
mad, isn't it? It just shows how much he does step up. Yes, I'm happy with Gundy.
You got to look at Gundogan as well. Sort of his whole tenure at Man City. He only cost 20 mil. It was Pep's first signing. One of the best servants they've had in recent times.
Oh, definitely, and he'll be always one of those. Like underrated, won't he?
I think
he'll
he
be,
will, yeah.
He'll be one of those underrated 11s that we'll be doing in years to come when the podcast is still going strong, when we're all in our early 40s.
Yeah, he doesn't set the world on fire, does he? But you'll always get a 7 out of 10 from him,
At least,
Yeah.
yeah.
without
definitely.
a shadow
Always
of a doubt.
delivers.
Yeah, definitely.
It's,
Okay,
like,
then.
it's like the postman.
Always delivers. That midfield, by the way, is naughty. That's
Stacked.
strong. Yeah. Okay, then. We'll head over to the right wing. Now, I think there is a discussion for a couple
Can
of
I
players.
make a point first?
Go on, then.
I didn't do left wing, right wing striker. I just did 3 forwards.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Big-
can put whichever one you think can go up against the right wingers. You go for it. Well, no, yeah, go for your 3 forwards, then that you want to mention.
Okay.
Because have you just done this so you can get Kane into a team of the season?
Absolutely.
Because we can. Do you know what? Actually,
He can't not be.
so
for
we
me.
can move.
No, I agree.
Should we go to the striker then? Just quickly discuss this then for the Kane Haaland then, because we. As
Well,
a
I've
perfect
got on
segue,
both.
We'll go straight to but the strikers in. If as a striker, who would you want to pick?
Because this is interesting. Because what's more impressive? Haaland getting 36 goals in the Man City side, who finished top and got chances galore, or Harry Kane, who got 30 league goals in a terrible Spurs season.
This is one of my points for further on in the pod.
I still think Haaland is a better achievement, and I will happily argue that.
But
Out and out goal scorer, Haaland.
But you think as well, like Kane takes absolutely every set piece. You think all the set pieces.
there's no free kicks.
He does. He scored a free kick a couple of weeks
A
back.
free
Yeah, against
kick.
Brentford, that was
But I'm
tremendous.
saying, but like,
It was good. Yeah, but it doesn't regularly take free kicks, does it?
but the difference is with the Kane and Haaland, like the Kane Haaland, who's a better striker. Kane is the main man. Everything has to go through Kane at Spurs because everything around him is utter dross. So I get what you're saying that he carries the team
Also true.
forward, But whereas Haaland has got all those other cogs in that beautiful machine of Man City that are all stepping up. When you've got the likes of Grealish chipping in with goals, Foden scoring 11 goals. Where did that come from in the Premier League?
But what I think, if Kane played for that City side, I think he'd score more than Haaland. I think he would score more than 36 goals this season.
I see. I don't know. I think Kane's had a great season. His best
Kane's had a
season.
brilliant season.
Yeah, it's his best season. But Haaland has had a better season. It's his first season. That shows he's brilliant.
I'm not denying that.
Kane is now used to. Haaland is an out-and-out striker.
Oh yeah, he's a
Out-and-out
finisher.
striker, finisher, poacher, call it whatever you want. Kane can do that, but I think in recent years he's become so accustomed to dropping a little bit deeper, picking up the ball, because comparing the two, Kane can spread the play. He can drop deeper, he can pick it up, similar to what Rooney started doing towards towards the end. Kane's not near the end, but he's.
You can argue Kane's a better footballer.
Yeah, I'd say that.
But Haaland is a better goal getter.
But then do you not think
Out and out
if
wide.
Kane went in the Man City side and Pep said to him, "You are this cog. Go and score me goals. Don't drop deep. Just stay up top, and you can link play at all the very, very top, but don't drop too deep unless you've got two very speedy wingers and the play away Spurs do because it changes tactics, whatever." But I think if Pep said, "This is your job to score goals," I think he'd score more.
Maybe, yeah, maybe there is a discussion. I just still think I just still think like we're comparing Haaland to like another striker, but he's still scored 6 more. And I get the difference with Man City and stuff, but 36 goals, like he's broken records. Like this guy.
Oh, I'm not denying that. Yeah, I'm not
the
denying
goal scoring
that.
record speaks for itself, and to do it to still shine in that side where there's got so many amazing players to still shine and be on that level.
And he was the issue at the start of the season as well, apparently.
According to me as well, I said it as well, and I realised I realised. No, I have to admit I don't.
I remember arguing with it about it.
And I look back and I've watched the clips and it makes myself feel sick. What did I become? And then I saw the light and realised Lewis Dunk is the god. And then I felt better. Then I just saw the light. But no, I get what you're saying. I just think just the Haaland first season to do what he's done. I get what you're saying. All the attributes. Kane's probably better than him at holding the ball up. Kane's better than him at general football. But goal scoring, Kane's only got a few more assists than him. They're not far off each other.
No.
I'm excited to see. We started to see it in patches towards the end of the season. Haaland's hold-up play has begun to improve. Another summer, another season, another half a season, whatever, under Pep as well. Maybe next year he'll be, let's say he might score 5 less, but his hold-up play and bringing others in will be better. But does it need to be?
Yeah.
It needs to be for Kane. Kane can do it, but it needs to be because Spurs are Spurs. Haaland is the better goal scorer for me.
Yeah. We could. To be fair, we can argue it till we're blue in the face,
Of
can't
course
we?
you can. And we'll never know whether Kane could beat Haaland's record.
I reckon
We'll
Kane
never
is
know.
so gutted that 2 years ago he didn't go to Man City.
He's going for the golden boot. He's surely got to do that now. Get at least get one trophy for yourself because.
See, I love him because Real Madrid have been heavily linked with him now. Now Benzema's gone.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. So, what do we want to do then? Is and the actual number 9 in this squad then? Who do you want? Like, as the
I still
striker?
think I'm still going to go Haaland because Haaland's been playing for the season. But I just wanted the debate. I just
I agree.
No, I completely
I agree.
agree. I wasn't going to brush over Kane. I was going to still give him
Yeah.
like a bit of a discussion. But you just remember as well, he's got absolutely nothing to show for it. 30 goals, he doesn't even win an award. Like he hasn't even got his golden boot this year. Like he's genuinely got nothing to take from it.
It's his best season. He's not.
Yeah.
He's got even less than normal.
Yeah,
to
and
show
you even
for it.
said
So
like,
Spursy.
it is so Spurs. And you mentioned like if Haaland scored 6 less next season or 5 less next season, he still will have scored more. If he'd scored 5 less, he still would have scored more than Kane.
Meant to him.
He's clear. No. I think it's a good debate to have.
If
So
Haaland keeps it up another 2-3 years, then maybe we'll start looking and going,
Shearer who?
okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But for now, as we'll come on to later on, I've still got Kane above Haaland because of the extras that he brings.
Yeah.
But if we're talking an out and out just goal scorer, for me, he's Haaland.
No, definitely. Okay, then. So hop over to the right wing, what we tried to do.
Yeah, sorry, I was
No,
ruining
it's
the whole
fine.
thing.
No, we had to. No, we had to do it. We started it off. You can't just leave it. I think there's two players really that mainly people have been discussing. It's the Salah Saka debate. I'm going to go straight in, and I'm going to say Saka, personally. And I get Salah's had another great season, but I just think Saka has it's really difficult to keep saying them two names. Has literally carried Arsenal at some points. He's been that talisman, that reliable player, and I understand they dropped off, and I feel like we are looking at Arsenal in a different kind of light, because we are joking about them bottling it, but to be at that level, Saka to go to that level as well, still at his age, to have such a good season as well.
But when Arsenal bottled it, it wasn't because the forward line stopped scoring. It was because the defence got increasingly worse.
Yeah, what do you expect when you got players like Holding?
Yeah.
Just because he's got a new hairline doesn't mean he's started to becoming a good footballer.
Greatest Turkish hair job ever at it,
Yeah,
by the way.
we can say that's going to be a summer discussion. Him or Andros Townsend, that's a real debate. That is, but
Or Antonio
great.
Conte. To
yeah,
be fair.
there's loads of good debates we can do that. Like hair transplant FC, like there's going to be a definitely.
It's been Saka's not breakout season, but it's been Saka's maturity season, hasn't it? The one where you can now look at him, and he doesn't have these guys. You know, last season and the seasons prior, you knew he was talented, and you knew he had massive potential, and he'd deliver for 5-6 games.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's just like a ghost.
Yeah.
For the next 3 or 4.
I think that's why as
Inconsistent.
well. Even at England level, 2-3 years ago, he was starting for England, and I didn't really appreciate it at the time. I think 2 or 3 years ago,
He's still
how
so
good he
young.
was. Yeah, he's still so young as well. But like, he was one of the youngest players to start for England in a World Cup and Euros knockout stage and everything.
Yeah, he's 21.
What are you doing with your life?
Sat in my bedroom talking about football with you lot. Who's a real winner, Saka? Who's a real winner? I'm locking in Saka.
I went for Salah. In a terrible Liverpool year, and it has been a terrible Liverpool year. I mean, yeah, don't forget, I was an 8-game winning streak for absolutely nothing at the end of the season. It's
Yeah.
just quite funny.
And Trent turned up, didn't he? As
Yeah,
well?
finally. But yeah, Salah's still been producing the goals, still getting assists this year, which he hasn't been doing as much previous years. He's been along with Alisson, the star boy for Liverpool this year. He's still producing the goods.
No, it's, yeah.
You've got. Do you know what then, Matt? You can have the final decision. Who do you want?
See, I ate like a slice of humble pie last time I was on here regarding Salah, which I'm more than happy to do.
He'll appreciate that.
Because yeah, he did get well. I apologised to him last time, and he DM'd me, and it's all good now. It's all good. We're all sweet.
So, all right, Mo.
Yeah, I got him tickets for the Razzers next season.
Will he sponsor us?
Yeah, please.
please sponsor us, man. I will go for Saka.
Okay, Saka it is then. Okay then, left wing position. Si, what have you gone for?
Well, I went for Kane.
Kane,
and
innit?
Haaland.
Okay,
Kane.
and then you went Kane
Kane.
as well. I put Grealish.
Great. If I had to do positions, Grealish would be the best left winger this
Do you
year.
want to squeeze Kane in as a left winger because you both put him there? As long as you can
Yeah.
have him if you want.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, okay.
He was
We're
there
gonna
'cause you can't
just so you
choose.
can squeeze him in.
I rate the Grealish shout though. I've had a lot of conversations with people, and I always reverted back to. Do you remember Sterling's first year at City? And people were saying the same thing about him. And I know, obviously, he cost 100 mil, and you sort of expect him to hit the ground running. But again, a year under Pep, learning, going from a very big fish in a relatively not a small
Sorry,
pond.
this is just throwing back when Si tried to say this. Go back. I don't know what episode it is.
This is not one of the early
one
ones,
of Si's.
early ones.
Have you listened to
Oh,
that?
yeah, I will have.
Sorry, that's amazing. You just throw back. Si in one of his first episodes. A big fish in a small pond and fish in pond
Yeah,
and
and that now is a fish in a pond.
in a pond. I thought that's what you were going to do then.
and it was about Grealish, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's why it was brilliant. Carry on because we just disrupted what you
No,
said.
no.
I get entirely what you were saying.
It's right, though. He was at Villa what Kane is to Spurs, and he's had to get away from the. He's now got responsibilities and a job to do, and he can't just go where he wants, pick up the ball, do this, do that. Took him a year to get his head round it, and now he's
Smashing
living the dream. And I love his post-match interviews.
Yeah,
Keeps his phone up the side, doesn't he?
yeah.
He does.
I rate it. And I do want to say one thing about, I was reading a really interesting article this morning from The Athletic. Shout out to them because it's a lovely article. And it was talking about why it takes a player so long, specifically wingers and fullbacks, time to adjust to the Man City style of play. And it discussed about when Man City have got the ball, they are, stats-wise, when you measure it, the width of the team is the largest of any Premier League side
Oh, really?
on average when they have the ball, like by far.
Because it's probably chalking your boots, isn't it?
Yeah, literally. But then when they receive the ball, when they lose the ball,
Yeah.
they are the second narrowest side, only behind Brentford.
Really?
So the narrowest. So they were saying, talking about a winger and a fullback understanding their roles in a system
Yeah.
like that. That is a massive change because
Yeah.
wingers primarily have just been told to get in, whereas he's been taught to tuck in to another level and been asked to do a completely different job. So it's why Man City wingers and fullbacks take so long to adjust to the Pep style.
So I remember Cherry on Ray saying, it was a good few years ago, this was when the interview about Pep Guardiola, and Cherry was playing left wing, wasn't it, Barca, when he went there? And he always said, I was told, when we've got the ball, chalk in your boots, get as wide as possible, make the pitch as big as you can. But then as soon as you get to the final third, the wingers diagonal run towards the back post, every single time, both wingers, that's how we got so many goals and scored, just create so many chances.
Yeah, which we've
Because
seen.
the dynamic running like that, and I think Grealish has got hold of that, and so is Mahrez, and so is Foden, and so is Bernardo Silva, who plays on the wing as well. They all get it.
Yeah.
And they all now work so hard for the team as well.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I think, I was a big slate of Grealish. I was
We
like,
all-
100 mil, 6 goals, how's that enough for a forward? He's done brilliant this year.
What makes me laugh, because we all did it and everyone did it. What makes me laugh, everyone's saying about Grealish, give him a season. Well, I just want to say, we've given Sancho 2 seasons, so where's Sancho? That's all I'm saying. Just
Where are you?
where are you? We need you. But no one's seen him for ages, and that FA Cup final just epitomised to me how much of an average player Sancho is. But that, I don't know why I needed to do that, but it just felt good to
I
get
didn't
that.
realise she turns into Mike.
No, I really no, but he is awful. Like I was watching him in that game, genuinely. Like I don't know what he does.
I don't understand how he was so good in the German league.
Well, I think I know. I've been watching a lot of
Don't
the
tell me
German league
this.
because the German league is just not very. It's so open. There is no tactical awareness whatsoever. It is just gung attack via attack. There's no such thing as defense. There is no defense.
Defence? What's a defence?
Sorry, defense equals vibes in the German league. Like there's no such thing as it. Like whatsoever. But there we go. That's our team of the season. I'll quickly give you a little roundup. What we've all agreed.
Who's the gaffer, sorry?
The gaffer. Oh, it's just the team. We're not doing gaffer.
Oh, okay.
We'll leave gaffer out. We can't. We gave him. We gave the award last week, so
Fair enough.
we'll leave him out because we can't keep debating because we'll go on for hours about gaffer because there's only one man who deserves it. Anyway then. So our team of the season all agreed across the board. In goal, Nick Pope. Right back, Trippier. Centre backs, Diaz and Dunk. Go on, Dunk. Left back, Estupinan.
He had to really concentrate as well.
Pause before he started.
I tried. I had to read
Do you
it
want to do it
again.
again?
No, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And then a midfield three of Rodri, Odegaard, and Gundogan, and then a front three of Saka on the right. I did mix it up.
Gundogan,
I don't know. I did.
the Spanish revelation.
Hey,
Gundogan.
hey. Gracias. I don't know what to say. Barcelona. So right wing Saka, left wing because they wanted to squeeze him in, Harry Kane, and then up front Haaland. So there's our team of the season for the 2022-2023 season. Bosh.
Lovely.
I'm very, very happy with that.